Just as a precursor to this game against the Arizona Diamondbacks, so you are not going to be seeing either of the players that we traded to them for Robbie Ray, because Franklin Barreto and Jordan Groshans are both sitting in AAA for them. Groshans to be expected, but Barreto is the best overall shortstop on their roster, and he is in AAA for whatever reason. It is time to kick off the 2023 regular season. Giants and D-backs here at Oracle Park for opening day. Take a look at each team's starters for the opening day ball game. Taijuan Walker going for the D-backs, and then he'll be opposed by the Giants' ace of Derek Rodriguez. Take a look at their lineup on the day 1-2-9 with the new acquisitions of Manuel Margot and Joey Gallo, and then the D-backs lineup as well. Top of the first inning, David Peralta hits a ball on the ground to first base. Fuentes makes the diving stop but cannot make the throw over to first in time. So then an infield single for Peralta, but he is followed up by a pop-up to the catcher. Behind the plate, Joey Bart puts it away. Still scoreless, top of the second. Gilberto Fuentes at the dish now. He hits a ball through the right side of the infield for a base knock. Then with one out will be Elliot Ramos hitting a ball through the left side of the infield for a base knock. So back-to-back, or not back-to-back, but two singles in the inning. One out brings up Peter Mooney. He's going to hit a ball into left field. That is a pop-up, easily caught by the left fielder, so first and second runners stay put. National League Baseball, the pitcher at the plate whiffs through the 2-2 pitch, and that is a strikeout. So still scoreless as Walker gets out of that jam. Move things on to the fourth. Jazz Chisholm, what a name, bloops one into left field for a single. Next batter up was David Peralta. He does the same thing, basically the same exact spot, so back-to-back singles for the D-backs. Then after Lamb strikes out, Jake Marisnick draws himself a walk. So it's bases juiced for Jackson, who's going to pop one up into center field. Manny Margot camped under it. He is going to fire this one home, but they do tag the runner-up from third base as the D-backs strike first, and this one is a 1-0 lead for them. But then D-Rod would get out of the inning, but it was a close one as Rickard hits a long fly ball into center field that would be caught. 1-0 is the score. It would stay that way into the 8th inning, where Tyler Thornburg comes on facing Peter Mooney to lead off the inning. He is going to hit a line drive into left center that is caught on the fly. Then Aaron Altair comes up to pinch hit, 1-1 count. He hits a line drive over to third base that's snagged on a line as well, so back-to-back outs. And then Manny Margot, top of the order, comes up, hits a line drive up the middle, keeps the inning alive with a 2-out hit, so he's on first. That brings up Jock Peterson. Cannot hold up his swing on that, but does get away from the catcher. So Margot moves at the second base in scoring position, but then Jock Peterson goes down swinging. So it's still 1-0. Tanner Scott comes on in the 8th, try to keep the score where it is, and he would do just that as he would get the third out of the inning on a fly out to left field. Peterson puts it away in foul territory. Andrew Chafin comes on for the D-backs, their new closer, facing Stuart Fairchild against the lefty, who comes on to pinch hit with 2 outs. He hits a ball past the third baseman into left field. There's a single for Fairchild. Keeps the inning alive. The game-winning run is now at the plate. And he hits a chopper back to the pitcher. Chafin makes the play, tosses over to first, and the D-backs win a pitcher's duel here in opening day over the Giants, as last season's last place NL West team comes out on top over last season's NL West winners in the Giants 1-0. Big reason for that was Taijuan Walker, who pitched 7 innings strong, only gave up 3 hits, struck out 7, no runs of course, and only 1 walk. D-Rod pitched a solid game as well for the Giants, but their offense got off to a very slow start on the season, obviously, so they dropped this game to the D-backs. Before we actually hop into this game against the Cubbies, it is worth mentioning that Yu Darvish is already going to miss 5 to 6 months for them with a head fracture, as he took a line drive to the face in his first start of the entire season. The Giants travel out to Wrigley Field to take on the Cubs. Javi Baez taking on his former team. Cubs showing off their new star in Aaron Judge. Dwayne Underwood Jr. getting the start for the Cubs, and he'll be opposed by Dylan Bundy, who is back from his torn labrum, making his second start of the campaign. Giants lineup 1-2-9, there you have it, and then you also have the Cubs lineup 1-2-9. We'll start things off top half of the first inning. Manny Margot hits a ball into left field. That is going to land in for a single, so he's on first to kick off the ball game. And then Jock Peterson comes up, pitch gets away from Carantini, allows Margot to move up into scoring position on the wild pitch, And then Peterson would unfortunately strike out as he's out in front of a changeup. Brings up Javi Baez. Check swing on the 3-1 count. The ump says he did not go, so that is a walk. First and second for the Giants. Brings up Joey Gallo, who singles into right field. That is going to move up everybody one base. They do not test the arm of Judge in right. Brings up Gilberto Fuentes. Base is loaded. He's gotten off to a hot start on the year, and he continues to be on a hot start. Hits a ball up the middle, drives in one run. They send Baez. The throw to the plate gets him. So only one run comes in. It's now 2 outs with runners on second and third for Joey Bart, who has not gotten off to a hot start, but he delivers here. Left center field, he's going gapping. He's going to score 2 runs, but then he's going to be gunned down in the back end of the play at second base. So it is a 3-0 Giants lead. They take that into the top of the second, where Elliot Ramos connects on a pitch. He sent it into the left field bleachers. That is a solo shot for Elliot Ramos. It's now a 4-0 lead for the Giants. We move things on. Bottom of the second, Ian Happ goes down swinging on the changeup. He's out in front. And then with 2 outs, it would be Velasquez whiffing through the slider. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Bundy as he is back. Bottom of the third inning, Dwayne Underwood Jr. gets a hanging curveball, and the pitcher hits a ball into the bleachers in left field. We're just not going to talk about that one. 4-1 lead for the Giants now. Bottom of the fourth inning as Bundy strikes out the big bat of Chris Bryant and then gets a fly out from Judge into right field on a down and away pitch. And then for the third out, it would be the other big bat of Ian Happ going down on the slider. So 1-2-3 inning for Bundy. Move things on to the top of the sixth, where the former Monmouth Hawk comes on for the Cubbies, and Brad Brock facing Jock Peterson, who struck out twice in the day, and you know that wouldn't last. As he powers a ball into right field, that's going to get out of here. You can kiss that goodbye. A solo shot off the bat of Jock Peterson. It's now a 5-1 ball game. Bottom of the sixth inning, 1 out in the inning as Horner is going to hit a ball into left center field. That is going to be a double for him, and that would end Dylan Bundy's day as the new manager, Barry Gage, comes out, takes him out of the game. Good day on the hill for Bundy, but he does come out here in the sixth with a runner on second, and Ryan Presley, the new reliever, comes on for the Giants. Gives up a single on the first pitch he throws to Chris Bryant, so it's runners on the corners as they do not test the arm of Manny Margot. Brings on the big bat of Aaron Judge. 2-2 count to him. Perfectly placed fastball from Ryan Presley. Judge is not happy about it. He's yelling at everybody. And then for the third out of the inning, it would be Ian Happ going down on a slider that broke so much it almost hit him. Presley gets out of the jam, and it's still a 5-1 lead. We move things on to the seventh, where Jason Tutman comes on, and he would give up an absolute bomb to Rougned Odor as Rugi unleashes on this one. A solo shot makes it a 5-2 game. It's only a 3-run lead now for the Giants, but Tutman would recover and get out of it. As for the third out, he would get the pinch hitter David Bodie to fly out to right field. Reyes Maranta coming on in the ninth inning, looking for the save in a 3-run game, facing Aaron Judge to lead things off. Hits a ball to deep center field, but that's going to be caught by Margot as he has it played perfectly. After that, it is Ian Happ going down swinging on a changeup. Quick 2 outs for Maranta, and then it would bring up Rougned Odor, and he unleashes on another one. He's going to have 2 home runs on the day. Unfortunately, both of them are solo shots, so they don't really matter too much. It is a 2-run lead, though. Now for the Giants, as they do have to be careful, but Maranta does shut the door as he gets a ground out from Velasquez in second base, and it's a 5-3 victory for the Giants as they win it here in Wrigley. Dylan Bundy gets the win as he pitched 5 1/3 strong innings on the day, struck out 6, only gave up 3 hits, 1 run, and 1 walk. Elliot Ramos had a homer for his only hit of the day, so did Jock Peterson. Gilberto Fuentes had an RBI single, and Joey Bart had a 2 RBI single where he got gunned down trying to stretch it into a double. So a 5-3 victory on the day for the Giants over the Cubs. A little bit of an update before we actually hop into the third and final game of the episode, as the Giants did get off to a shaky start to the season, just like they did last year, but they are playing much better recently on a 5-game win streak heading into this game against the Brewers. In that first game against the Brewers, they actually won that game 9-2, and it is significant because Manny Margot hit 3 home runs in that ballgame, while Javi Baez had 2 himself. Manny Margot actually leads the entire National League in home runs with 8 of them on the year. Jock Peterson is among a huge group of guys with 7 homers on the year. Trevor Story, Brandon Belt, Nolan Arenado, Christian Yelich, JD Martinez, and Teoscar Hernandez, while Dylan Bundy leads the National League in ERA by a pretty significant margin. He picked up right where he left off before his torn labrum, as he has a .77 ERA to start his 2023 campaign. So the Giants travel back home to San Fran as they're playing host to the 15-5 Milwaukee Brewers, sending out their ace in Luis Severino for the 5th time this season. He's 2-0 with a 2.67 ERA. He'll be opposed by the lefty in Robbie Ray, making his 5th start, so a potential pitcher's duel on hand for us. Giants line up 1-2-9, and then the Brewers line up 1-2-9. We'll start things off bottom half of the second inning. Joey Gallo at the plate. He's going to check his swing on that pitch, and it's going to be a ball 4. He'll toss his bat to the side and take his base. After that, Gilberto Fuentes hits a ball into right center field. Gallo's going first to third on that. Fuentes is holding up at first, so his runners on the corners. For the Giants, Ramos comes to the plate. Fuentes goes and swipes second despite Ramos swinging at a bad pitch. So it's second and third now, nobody out. 0-2 count to Ramos. Pops up the shallow left field, way too shallow to tag up the runners. So it's just going to be second and third still with 1 out. Tetsuto Yamada is then a first pitch swing and hits a line drive to left, also not deep enough to tag anybody up, so it's second and third now with 2 outs, as then Chase Numata, the backup catcher, getting the start on the day, swings through strike 3, still scoreless. Top of the third, Nick Longy comes to the plate for the Brewers, hits a ball into right center field, a slow roller that Margot gets to quick enough to cut it down to only be a double for Longy, so he's on second base, as then the pitcher pops it up to Gallo on a bunt, so runner still on second. Corey Ray then pops it up. Ray gets Ray out for the second out of the inning, and then it would be Ben Gamble hits a ground ball over to Baez right from the edge of the dirt, fires a strike over to first base, and we're still scoreless. Bottom half of the first inning, Manny Margot hits a ball down the left field line. That's going to be a single for him. Thought about 2, but he holds up at first base. Jock Peterson then comes up to the plate, takes ball 4, he'll take his base. So it's first and second with 1 out, brings up Javi Baez. Hits a ball high and deep into center field. Not too deep, though, and is in center field. Margot is going to test the arm of Corey Ray in center, and he does get in there. So it's runners on the corners with 2 outs for Joey Gallo, who comes to the plate, and he is a hitter of singles. Hits a ball into right field for a base knock. That's going to drive in a run. And with Luis Severino on the mound, you'll take every run you can get, as Gallo makes it a 1-0 lead for the Giants. On to the top of the 4th now, Christian Yelich strikes out for out number 1. After that, it would be Travis Shaw, who's going to pop one up a million miles in the air in foul territory. Fuentes camps under it, puts it away, and then it would bring up the catcher in Ian Rice. Hits a chopper that gets past Ray, Gallo, and Baez, who muffs it. So Rice reaches on an error, and then for the third out, it would be Dubois, the shortstop, who strikes out on the curveball. So still a 1-0 game as Ray gets out of that inning, shows off his stuff. Bottom of the 5th now, Manny Margot hits a ball up the middle that was going to be almost a diving catch from Corey Ray, but he can't make the grab, so Margot's on first with a single. Then Jock Peterson hits a ball on the ground that's like a rock skipping across the pond up the gut into center for a base knock, so first and second for Javi Baez. The big bat of Baez, first and second, nobody out, launches a ball into left center field. It's going to be caught at the wall, though. Margot does attempt to tag up, and the bad throw from the left fielder is going to allow Margot to get into third base with 1 out, as then Joey Gallo finally hits an extra base hit, and that's going to be off the brick in right field, off the top of the brick wall, I should say, as that's going to drive in 1 run, make it a 2-0 game as Gallo has both ribbies on the day. The Brewers then intentionally walk Fuentes to get to Elliot Ramos, who has gotten off to a fantastic start to the season, but he is going to ground out to a 6-4-3 double play here, as the Brewers' plan worked, and it's still only a 2-0 game. As we move on to the 8th inning now, Raisel Iglesias comes on to pitch, Seth Mejias-Breen comes on at first base for some extra defense. A little bloop hit is going to get over the glove of Baez at shortstop and bloop into left center for a base knock for Longy, as then after that it would be Arcia, who hits a ground ball into left field, back-to-back singles for the Brewers. Corey Ray then comes to the plate, hits a ground ball to shortstop. It's 6-4. Not 3, as it's going to be beaten out on the back end, so runners on the corners. A long fly ball is hit here to the right field wall, essentially. Ramos does make the play, though. A run does tag up to score as the lead is cut in half, 2-1. Go-ahead run at the plate in Christian Yelich, who has been on fire to start the season, but he's going to go down looking on the changeup here as Iglesias gets out of the inning with the lead intact. Moranta then comes on in the 9th inning, and he shuts the door. First batter up, Shaw, whiffs through the changeup. He's out in front of it. Next batter up, Ian Rice, the catcher, whiffs through the slider, down and away, and then it would be a pinch hitter coming to the plate for the Brew Crew, and he would be the third out as he pops an 0-1 pitch out to right center field. Manny Margot comes on to make the play, and he does that. 2-1 victory for the Giants over the Brew Crew in a pitcher's duel between Robbie Ray and Luis Severino, where the lefty comes out on top as the Giants win this game. Robbie Ray does get player of the game honors. He went 6 innings strong, only gave up 1 hit and struck out 8. The Giants pitching staff as a total only gave up 3 hits on the day. While the Brewers did give up 10 hits, they did limit the damage to only 2 runs, which did end up being just barely enough. Both of those off the bat of Joey Gallo. He had an RBI single and an RBI double, and both of those runs were driving into fleet feet of Manuel Margot. He got on base with 2 singles on the day and got driven in by Gallo both times. So with that being said, that is going to wrap things up here for this edition of the San Francisco Giants franchise. I've been your host, Jerseyborn, and I am saying, in real life, the MLB All-Star jerseys being sleeveless and Luke Voit being robbed of an All-Star spot, therefore robbing us of Luke Voit wearing a sleeveless uni, is an absolute travesty.